This is Derek Minor. The myth that I want to expose is that Southern artists are one-dimensional. One, the reason why I think that's a huge myth is because oftentimes you hear the sound of Southern music and it has a lot of staples. When you think about the 808 and you think about all of the artists that have, the way it's developed, I mean, you think about Outkast, you listen to their music, you listen to UGK, you listen to A-Ball, MJG, like when you see the transformation of what we've done with these drum machines, or Mannie Fresh, or you think about all of the Southern music that we have, like, or even you think about the Florida, Miami bass movement, like all of that is such a diverse sound in itself. But then now when you think about today, I mean, you think about how it has evolved and you can't find music without a Southern influence today. So I just think that's one reason why you have to know that Southern music is not one-dimensional. Number two, when you think about, if you know your history, you think about the radio didn't play Southern music. We always were overlooked. They were either only playing music from LA or they were playing music from New York. Very rarely you would see like Outkast sneak in there early on, and then eventually we know what happened there. But for us Southern artists and people that grew up in the South, like we had to listen to music from Jay-Z, Nas. We had to listen to music from Snoop and Pac. So our music was all influenced from hip hop just across the board. So I think just for us, what you're seeing is us telling our story and telling it in a unique way. So I love when I get to school people on the diverse sounds that you hear in the South. And then also if you were to just break down the music in itself, like as far as delivery is concerned, I mean, there's not one delivery that's the same. Everybody's delivery is so cool and unique, and you watching even the new wave of guys like Young Thug, or you looking at the new wave of guys like Lil Yachty that's in the South, and then you looking at myself. Like we strive to make sure that our deliveries are very, very strong. So also when you think about the South, I think a lot of times people just think of Atlanta as being Southern music, but Atlanta has had such a huge impact on music, period. But also in the South, I mean, we could go all the way back to Two Live Crew in Miami, or even if you want to come even closer, you can go to Rick Ross, or you could even think about Trick Daddy. None of that Miami music sounds the same. Two Live Crew sounds nothing like Trick Daddy. That sounds nothing like Rick Ross or even Ace Hood today. And it's because the music is different. But then if you could go all the way around, even Tennessee, you got A-Ball and MJG, but their label Suave House, that was in Houston. So when you think about that, they were, like A-Ball and MJG didn't sound anything like 3 6 Mafia. There was two different sounds, both were all in the same city. And then, I mean, let's bring Houston up. You got Slim Thug, Chameleon there. You could go all the way back to really Young Money, well, Cash Money records back then when you had the Big Timers, and Cash Money had a different sound from No Limit, and they both were in New Orleans. So, and when you look at all of that, everyone that's grew up listening to Southern music knows that those influences, I mean, they're present today. Like a guy that I think everyone knows and loves is Drake. And I listen to a lot of his music, and I'll be able to pick out patterns from old Southern records, like, oh, he got that pattern from 3 6 Mafia. Oh, that's a UGK pattern. And I mean, Drake today is taking whole verses from old school rappers like, you know, Rapper Forte and Too Short. So I mean, he's not hiding it that he's influenced by the South. And he always talks about Houston, and it would be really, you'd be hard pressed in music to not see the influence of Southern music and to not see how diverse it is. I mean, you can clearly see that Kendrick was influenced by Outkast. It's clear that you see that, but you can also see that Drake's influenced by Houston music, and you can see the influence of Atlanta and the trap sound. So, and I can't forget T.I., who had a totally different sound when he came out from Atlanta. So just even in Atlanta, the music is totally different. So I think that's the thing I love about the South is it was, at one point in time, our sound wasn't able to be exported throughout the airways, but today, I mean, you find an artist that's not influenced by a Southern artist, I'd love to meet him.